Are you ready to paint the first flower? I'm gonna break it down step by step. Hello everyone, welcome back to Monica Arts channel. And today we are adding the very first flower to our 30 blooms wall. Now if you have watched day 0, you'll know that we spent all the time measuring, taping and creating this giant grid on the wall. And honestly, an empty grid is exciting for about 5 minutes. After that, all you can think is when do we start filling it in? The very first flower going onto this wall is going to be hydrangea. And before we begin, here's a little design decision we have to make for this series. I wanted to alternate between white and black sheets throughout the entire grid. So some flowers will be painted on white paper and some on black paper, creating a checkerboard-like effect once everything comes together. At least that's the vision in my head right now. We'll find out in 30 days whether it actually works. For today's background, I'm keeping things warm and vibrant. I'm using shades of red, orange, and a touch of white. And honestly, this part always reminds me that backgrounds don't need to be complicated. I'm literally just dabbing paint onto this paper and moving it around until it starts looking interesting. Very technical and professional, you see. I'm trying to create a soft cloud-like texture, so the flower has something warm to sit against. And once that's dry, it's time for hydrangea. Now hydrangeas look super complicated when you first see them, like hundreds of tiny flowers all packed together. But the secret is that they're actually much easier than they look to paint. You just repeat one tiny flower shape over and over again, and suddenly your brain goes from "there's no way I can paint that" to "oh, that's actually not that bad." So I'm starting from outer edges and slowly working my way inward, creating clusters of tiny flowers. For the colors, I'm keeping the lower areas slightly darker blue and gradually adding more white as I move upward. This helps create depth and gives the flower a softer and more natural look. And somewhere around this stage is when I stop seeing individual petals and start seeing an actual hydrangea appear, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of painting flowers. It's like watching something slowly introduce itself. Next, I'm adding a few simple leaves using green and yellow. Nothing fancy, just enough to frame the flower and break up all that blue. And then comes my favorite trick, layer 2. Whenever a painting feels flat, adding a second layer of details almost always changes everything. So I'm going back with more petals using the exact same technique as before. And immediately the flower starts looking fuller, richer, and much more alive. It's honestly one of those moments where you trust the process and suddenly everything starts working. Finally, I add tiny white highlights and dots throughout the flower. These are very small details, but they actually make a huge difference. And just like that, our first bloom is complete. Now for the moment I've been waiting for, let's go place it on the wall. Not gonna lie, seeing the first flower get onto this grid feels really satisfying. Yesterday it was just tape and an empty box. Today it's starting to become something. And I think that's exactly what this project is about. Just showing up one flower, one day, one little square at a time. So here's our hydrangea officially taking its place right before the Ganesha and becoming the very first flower offering on the wall. 30 blooms still to come. So I'll see you tomorrow for the next one.